Hey y'all, so today I'm doing something a little bit different because I'm offering a new class which I'm calling Caregivers Corner. So this will be an additional class that I'll be offering once a month on Wednesdays, in addition to the weekly classes that I will provide on Monday. And hopefully, like later down the line, once I get a little bit more acclimated to this platform, I'll be able to offer some more of these classes. And I was really inspired and always have been wanting to do this because I am a caregiver for a parent that has Alzheimer's and dementia. And really, caregiving can be an isolating experience. So, if I can create any awareness or be of service in any way that I know how to be, then I will do that. So, even if you're not a caregiver, come on down, join us on the mat, be an ally, and move your body and get to know our experience a little bit more. So, I hope that this platform can bring people together and also just make you feel like you have a community because it can be very lonely, especially when you might be handling a lot of things behind the scenes. And that could look like bathing your loved one, feeding your loved one, trying to find services, dealing with accessibility. And that can be mentally and emotionally taxing on your body. So, for that reason, I'm calling this sequence Caregivers Burnout, or dealing with caregivers burnout, because sometimes prioritizing yourself is not an option. So hopefully you can carve out a little bit of time for yourself and ground and center yourself as well with this class. So let's get into it and get ready on our mat. So once you have your props, we'll go ahead and start. And if you need to get them or still getting them, go ahead and take your time and grab them. So just having your pillows and blankets handy. And we'll start off in a wide leg forward fold. So I'll also provide some variations as well. But this is a nice restorative pose to help us get settled into our practice. So our legs will go out wide in a V shape with our ankles flexed and our legs rooted into our mat. So bringing your pillows with you, and these are legitimately like pillows from my couch. So using what you have, the props that are around your space, and we will place the pillows or blankets or towels in between your legs. So scooting up towards the pillows. And if you need to, you can also place a blanket or pillow underneath your bottom just to elevate the hips a little bit more. And once you get comfortable, hinging forward from our hips and placing your forehead down to your forearms. So this is one of our variations. If you don't have any props nearby, you can still keep your legs in a V shape and just walk the palms out in front of you, coming into your forward fold. So this is another variation. You can also place some pillows or blankets underneath the knees too, if the legs are tight, and come into your forward fold. And if this is not comfortable, you can keep your legs wide as well, and maybe just come down onto your back. So this may be more comfortable as well for you in your practice today. So just take time to figure out which posture might feel good in your body. And if none of them feel good in your body, you can take another pose as well. So I'm going to take our wide leg forward fold. And once you get nice and situated, we'll begin to take your posture and close your eyes or keep the gaze soft if that feels safer in your body for today. So even in our caregiving experience, just like within our poses, shifting our perspective of what it could look like, and knowing that the caregiving journey can truly be different for others as well. So it can look very different, even if your loved one has the same type of disease, It can look different in different spaces. So even recognizing that as well and not comparing one person's journey to another. So once you settle down with your eyes closed or the gaze is softened, we'll just come back to our breath. So just taking some slow inhales and exhales out of the mouth. Allowing yourself to be present within this moment, within your own body, which can be very difficult throughout our caregiving journey or day-to-day experience. As we may be in tune with our loved one and what they're doing and what they need, but sometimes neglecting ourselves. Continue to come back with your slow breaths. And we'll come into our 3-part breathing by inhaling for 3 and exhaling out of the mouth for 3. So once again, if this is uncomfortable, come back to your normal breathing pattern. So we'll slowly begin by inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling out of the mouth for 1, 2, 3. Inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale out of the mouth for 1, 2, 3. Inhale again through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale out of the mouth for 1, 2, 3. And take another round on your own. And after taking your final exhale, slowly begin to open the eyes or bring the gaze back up. And we'll all come up to sitting, adjusting yourself as you need, based on whichever pose you chose for the practice. And we'll come into our wide leg stance here, in our legs in a V. So I'll just turn around here. So with your legs still wide, our ankles are flexed, we'll reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, begin to twist to the right, palms connecting to your mat. Our gaze will slightly come over towards the right shoulder, staying nice and tall and lifted within your spine. Coming back to your breath. Feeling nice and rooted on your mat. And on our inhale, sweep the arms up overhead in line with the ears. And exhale, begin to hinge from the hips as you energetically reach towards your feet. And release the palms down wherever they may lay. So that might be on your shins or on the top of your thighs. Or maybe you can reach the top of your toes in your forward fold. Coming back to your breath. Exhale, maybe you hinge a little bit further, or maybe you just stay where you are, honoring your body's needs for today. On the next inhale, slowly come up and walk the palms back towards the body. Extend the right leg or right palm out in front of you, flexing at the wrist. Bring the left palm towards the right side of your head as you draw the left ear down towards your left shoulder. So coming into a neck stretch. Once again, not forcing or pulling down the head towards your shoulder. And inhale, draw the neck back up to center and release the palm down. We'll then sweep the arms back up overhead and exhale, twist towards your left. Gaze comes towards your left shoulder, twisting from your torso here, still feeling nice and firm and rooted in the back of the legs. And coming back to your breath. On the next inhale, sweep the arms right in line with the ears. And exhale, hinge forward, reaching for your toes. Allow the palms to land where they are. So maybe that's your shin, maybe that's your toes, or the tops of your thighs in your forward fold. Exhaling, letting go of your stress. Allowing yourself to be mindful in this moment. On the next inhale, slowly walk the palms back. This time, extend the left arm out to the side, flexing your wrist. Bring the right palm to the left side of your head as you draw the right ear down towards your right shoulder. Relax the shoulder, coming back into our neck stretch. On the next inhale, bring the neck back to neutral and sweep the arms up overhead, palms connect. And even in this caregiving space, thinking of something that you're grateful for, enhancing or building our gratitude practice, and release the palms down to heart center, sealing that place of gratitude. And release the palms down to your mat, and we'll come on to our knees. So coming out, taking your time. And if you need to, padding your knees with a pillow or blanket as we come into our tabletop. So in our tabletop, our shoulders are over our wrists, our palms are nice and wide, and our hips are right over our knees as you push the ground away from you, finding some strength here, staying nice and lifted. On the inhale, walk the right palm to the center of your mat and reach the left arm up towards the sky. So bring the left palm back here. And exhale, we'll sweep the arm behind us. And inhale, bring it back up. So taking our circles with your arms, moving at a pace that feels good for you. And on the inhale, reach the arms back up to the sky. Thread the needle as you bring the left arm through the right, lowering your head down to your mat, or if you need to, placing your head on a pillow or blanket or block. So right palm can stay towards the face, or you can reach it out in front of you, or bring your right palm to your left hip for a bind. Inhaling through your nose and exhale out of your mouth, release. On the next inhale, bring the right palm towards your face, root the right palm into your mat as you reach the left arm back up to the sky, hold here, and exhale, release the left palm down. We'll then shine the chest forward, coming into our cow, and exhale, round the spine for your cat. Taking another round, inhale, shine the chest forward for your cow. Exhale, round the spine, engage the core for your cat. We'll come back to center here in our neutral tabletop. Walk the left palm to the center of your mat. This time the right arm comes up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the arm back. And inhale, sweep the arm forward. So coming back into our arm circles. Maybe your gaze follows, or maybe it stays down towards your mat, whatever feels comfortable in your body. And on the next inhale, we'll sweep the arm back up towards the sky. Open the chest, and exhale, thread the right arm through the left, coming into our thread the needle. The right side of the head can come down to your mat or a blanket. The left arm can extend out in front of you, or you can come into a bind. Bring the left palm towards your right hip as you breathe. On the next inhale, walk the left palm towards your mat, rooting the palm into your mat. Push yourself up. Right arm goes up to the sky. And exhale, lower it back down to the mat. This time we'll take some body rolls or any movement that feels intuitive to your body right now. So maybe that you go back to your cat-cow, or maybe you just take gentle neck circles, or maybe you move your whole body in one direction and reverse in your opposite direction. So giving ourselves authority over our body and over ourselves. And we'll slowly come back to our tabletop and we'll come down to our deer pose. So if you haven't been able to tell, this is also another one of my favorite poses. I try to put it in almost all of my sequences. So with our deer pose, we'll go ahead and bring the left heel towards our groin. We'll swing the right leg to the long edge of our mat, flexing our right ankle and keeping that right leg parallel to the long edge of our mat. If you have a pillow, blanket, or block, you can place it underneath your left thigh for more support. And you can also place a pillow or blanket underneath your right knee as well for additional support. So squaring off your hips, walk the palms out in front of you, coming into a slight back bend as the gaze floats up. So this might be your deer pose today, or flex from the hip and lower your head down to a pillow or blanket or a block here. So releasing tension that we may store in our hips and exhaling, letting everything release here. On the next exhale, release the left forearm down to your mat. So still keeping our legs in our deer pose, we'll begin to shift the chest up towards the sky as you reach the right arm up. So you may hold here or bring the right palm down towards your lower back or towards your left hip in a bind. So staying nice and lifted out of the shoulders, root into that left palm. Inhale, reach the right arm back up towards the sky. And exhale, release it back down to your mat. Both palms connect to the earth as you gently push yourself up. And we'll come onto our bottom, walking the palms back. Swing your legs forward, coming into a variation of our seated cat-cow. So our feet are connected to our mat, knees pointed up. Palms come behind the thighs as you bring the chest forward for your cow. Exhale, round the spine, gaze comes towards the belly for your cat. So taking a few rounds here in your seated cat-cow. Connecting the breath to your movement. And we'll take one more round here at your own pace. And once you come back up to the neutral spine, we'll take our deer pose to the opposite side. So this time, our left shin will be parallel to the long edge of our mat. We'll draw the right heel in towards our groin. Pad your left knee if you need to. And if you have a pillow or block or blanket, we'll place it underneath our right hip. So getting nice and situated, walking the palms out in front of you for our slight back bend or extension in our back. Maybe staying upright if that feels good, or hinging forward in your deer pose. placing any props that you need under the forehead. And on your next exhale, keeping your right arm connected to the mat, we'll reach the left arm up to the sky to open the chest. So either staying here or bring the left palm towards your back or towards the right hip, drawing the left shoulder back slightly in our bind. Inhaling through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. On the next inhale, reach the left arm back up to the sky, holding for a breath. And exhale, release the palm back down to your mat. Root the right palm into your mat and slowly come back up. And we'll come onto our bottom for our butterfly pose, also known as our Baddha Konasana. So the inner soles of our feet will connect towards one another. If you'd like more stretch within your inner thighs, you can bring the feet closer. And if you want less stretch, you can reach the feet out in front of you. And if you need to, you can place blocks or pillows underneath the knees for some support as a variation. So finding whatever position feels good in your body, and we'll then begin to grab the feet and begin to hinge slightly forward in your butterfly pose. So it's okay if you don't go all the way down, but maintaining that length and integrity in your spine as you fold over. Coming back to your breath, inhale and exhaling out of the mouth. And on the next inhale, we'll slowly come back up. Take your time. Bring the soles of the feet to your mat, moving your props over to the side, and we'll come down to our back. So taking your time as you reach the arms out in front of you and slowly and moving with intention, begin to come down to your mat, still connecting your feet to the earth, and release the palms down to the floor. So coming into our bridge pose, we'll walk the heels towards the fingertips, keeping our knees nice and leveled and squared. Ground the feet into the mat and draw the shoulders back. On the inhale, begin to peel the hips off of the mat. Take your time, allowing the hips, belly, and then the chest to rise. Breathing here, feeling nice and strong in your body. And exhale, lower the hips and then the back down towards your mat. Again, inhale, root into the palms as you lift the hips up. Take your time, move with ease here. Feel that engagement in your bottom as you hold. And exhale, lowering back down to your mat. And this time on your own, moving at your own flow, at your own pace. Inhaling when you get to the top. And exhale, lower back down toward your mat. And just holding for a second to see how it feels. Inhale, draw the knees in towards the chest. And exhale, begin to rock the spine from side to side, palms wrapping around your shins. And on the exhale, we'll come back to center into our happy baby. So on the inhale, our feet will go up towards the sky, reaching for your feet or the outer edges of your feet as you open the legs wide. Your palms can also come back to the backs of the calves or the backs of the thighs and your happy baby if that's more accessible. And you can either rock from side to side or just stay where you are. So opening our hips here in this posture. And on the inhale, slowly bring the knees back to center, lowering them or bringing them back in, and keeping your neck on the mat or lifting up just for a second here, coming into a ball. Exhale, release the head down to your mat and release the feet. So coming into our final resting pose, the feet can stay on the mat, or if you'd like to extend the legs out, you can do so. Or maybe you roll over to one side, placing a pillow under, or not underneath, but in between your legs. So taking a variation that feels good in your body, that allows yourself to feel a little bit more comfort within your own space, within your body here. And when you find that position that works for you, beginning to close the eyes or lowering the gaze down and tuning back into your breath. And maybe you come back to your three-part breathing technique that we did earlier in our practice, knowing that that's even an option when you go off of your mat, helping you to calm yourself or center yourself, whether you're in your caregiving journey or not, or caregiving space, knowing that that is still an option. And just allowing your body to relax as you release tension out of your shoulders, releasing any tension from your back and your legs, letting the feet just rest, relaxing your jaw and your forehead. Allowing yourself to release any tension, even if it's for this moment, in this position that you're in. And as you find peace in your final resting pose, I would like to share a short written piece, a personal written piece. It's okay to feel tired. Be validated in that. It's okay to move at a slower pace and take time out for yourself, not feeling guilty of carving out the time for you. You are not selfish, but selfless in your approach and your day-to-day experience. Acknowledge all that you have done in all that you do. So finding some encouragement as you hold your final resting pose for a few minutes. So once you're ready, we'll slowly come back into the present moment, still remaining present within our body by taking gentle movements, maybe circling the ankles or the wrists, rocking the hips from side to side, or windshield wipering the knees from left to right. And wherever you are, coming back into a seated position, maybe you stay there, or another position that suits your body right now in this moment. And wherever that is, if you are coming up, you can keep the eyes closed or the gaze down. Palms can just remain wherever it feels comfortable as we conclude our practice with 3 rounds of cleansing breath as a union, as a community and collective, by inhaling through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. And this final time on your own. And as always, I would like to thank you again for joining me on the mat. And I hope that this practice can serve you releasing tension and stress from your body within this moment. And to all my caregivers out there, I would like to acknowledge you, recognize your experience, and I hope as well that you continue giving yourself and showing yourself and your loved ones some compassion. So thank you again, and as always, namaste.